Every great crime film doesn't just show violence, it studies it. The psychology, the power, the control. From Scorsese's Casino to Ridley Scott's American Gangster, these movies reveal how real-world organized crime shapes some of cinema's most unforgettable moments. In this episode, we're exploring the brutal elegance behind the mob's code. Scenes that don't just shock audiences, but redefined how Hollywood portrays power, loyalty, and fear. Casino, 1995, directed by Martin Scorsese, tells the story of Las Vegas in the 1970s, a city built on gambling, power, and crime. Sam Ace Rothstein runs Tangier's casino with precision and control, while his friend Nicky Santoro, played by Joe Pesci, handles the dirty work for the mob. Nicky's brutally violent and unpredictable. He enforces respect through fear, smashing a man's hand with a hammer for cheating, and then later meeting his own end in a shocking cornfield beating. Where Ace tries to keep things clean and organized, Nicky's anger and greed spiral out of control. His violent nature and inability to follow rules eventually destroy everything around him. Casino shows how loyalty and friendship collapse under the weight of power, greed, and brutality. This one scene depicts one of the most brutal mafia scenes ever.
I tell you, you hear little girl, Frankie? Hear little girl, Ace? That little fucking girl? What happened to the fucking tough guy told my friend stick it up his fucking ass, huh?
The Untouchables, 1987, directed by Brian De Palma, tells the story of federal agent Elliot Ness and his small team's fight to bring down Al Capone during Prohibition-era Chicago. The film shows a city ruled by corruption, fear, and violence, with Capone, played by Robert De Niro, sitting at the top. One of the most unforgettable moments is the baseball bat scene. Surrounded by his men at a fancy dinner, Capone gives a calm, almost friendly speech about teamwork and loyalty. Then, without warning, he smashes one of his men's head with a baseball bat for betraying him. The sudden burst of violence shocks everyone and defines who Capone really is. Behind the charm and luxury is a man who rules through terror. The scene perfectly captures the fear he inspired. One moment, laughter and applause. The next, cold-blooded murder. It's one of the most chilling and iconic depictions of mob power ever filmed, showing that in Capone's world, loyalty wasn't earned, it was enforced.
What am I? Baseball. A man stands alone at a plate.
The Sopranos, 1999 to 2007, dives deep into crime family boss's psychology. His panic attacks, therapy sessions, and moral conflicts, showing the human side of organized crime like never before. One of the most shocking moments of the series is featuring Furio Giunta. Tony Soprano's fiercely loyal Italian enforcer comes when he visits a brothel owner and her husband who've fallen behind on payments. Sent to deliver a message, Furio walks into their club with his usual quiet, intimidating presence. When the brother and husband try to argue or make excuses, Furio doesn't waste words. He snaps. He brutally beats both men, slamming one with a pool cue and kicking the other to the ground with terrifying precision and calm. The scene is pure controlled violence. No yelling, no theatrics, just efficient punishment. What makes it so powerful isn't just the brutality, but Furio's discipline. He doesn't lose control, he's doing his job, as if violence is simply business. It's a reminder of why everyone in Tony's crew respects and fears him. Furio doesn't threaten people, he just acts. Eastern Promises, 2007, directed by David Cronenberg, is a gritty crime thriller set in London's hidden world of the Russian mafia. The story follows Nikolai Lushkin, played by Viggo Mortensen, a quiet yet intimidating driver who works for the Russian criminal boss. Beneath his calm demeanor lies a man caught between loyalty, morality, and survival. The movie's most unforgettable and brutal moment is the Turkish bath fight scene. Nikolai is ambushed by two armed assassins while completely naked in a steam bath. With no clothing to protect him, no clothes, no weapons, he fights for his life in a raw, realistic, and chaotic struggle. The scene's shocking not just for its violence, but for its authenticity. Every stab, every fall on the slippery tile feels painfully real. Mortensen's vulnerability and ferocity blend together, showing both the brutality of the mafia world and the primal will to survive. It's widely considered one of the most intense and realistic fight scenes ever filmed, turning Eastern Promises into a modern crime classic. American Gangster 2007, directed by Ridley Scott, tells a true story of Frank Lucas, played by Denzel Washington, a calm, calculated Harlem drug lord who rises to power in the late 1960s and early 70s. After his boss, Bumpy Johnson, dies, Lucas builds his own empire by cutting out middlemen and importing pure heroin directly from Southeast Asia. His business sense, discipline, and ruthless control allow him to dominate the streets while living by his own strict code: family, respect, and fear. One of the most unforgettable scenes comes early in the film, the daylight killing of Tango. In the middle of a busy Harlem street, Lucas approaches Tango, a loud, arrogant gangster who owes him money and disrespects him publicly. The tension builds quietly as Frank stays composed, almost polite. Then, without warning, he pulls out a gun and shoots Tango, point blank in the head, right there in front of everybody. He calmly wipes the gun, places it on Tango's chest, and walks away as the crowd stands frozen. The scene redefines who Frank Lucas is: ruthless, fearless, and in total control. It's not just an act of violence, it's a statement. From that moment, everyone in Harlem knows who runs the city. Behind every empire lies betrayal. Behind every legend, a fall. From Scorsese's Vegas Kings to Denzel's Harlem Boss, these stories remind us that violence never builds a legacy. It only writes the final chapter. What makes these scenes unforgettable isn't just their violence, it's their truth. Each one captures a piece of history, a reflection of how power corrupts and loyalty collapses under greed. That's why films like Casino, The Untouchables, Eastern Promises, and American Gangster aren't just stories. They're studies in human nature. If you love learning how real history and psychology shape the legends of cinema, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and never stop chasing the magic of cinema.